So let's try another word problem. Let's say exams are 50% of your final grade. And you score a 72 on exam 1. And let's say there's 2 exams. We're not including the final. Let's say the final is 40% of the grade, but we're not even going to write that down. We actually don't even need to know that to answer the following question. So, what do we need to score to get an 80% exam average? So we don't even care that exams are 50% of the grade, just might happen to be a fact for the class, but what we want is we want your average just given the exams, just given the 2 exams, not the final, which we're treating as separate, not the homework, which is separate. We just want to get an 80% average. So what are we going to need to score on the second exam? There's 2 exams. We've already scored 72 on the first exam. Well, let's think about that, right? We want the average of 72 and our score on the second exam, which I'll call S. So the average will be, take the 2 numbers and you divide by 2. And we want that to be 80. And now we have our equation. What do we want to find? We want to find S. However, it's a pretty simple problem. Only one variable showed up. I guess I could have used a different letter for 80 and then plugged that in, but didn't really seem like it would be helpful to do that. So what can we do? Well, there's a lot of ways to proceed. I can multiply both sides by 2. That's actually a nice way of doing this. So then I have to move everything over to one side and isolate S. Let's move things to the left. So I will get S plus 72 minus 160 equals 0. And I know that 72 plus 28 is 100, so 28 and 60 is 88. So this is a linear equation, 1s minus 88 equals 0. So at this point I can just move the 88 over to the right. That's probably how most of you would do this. And that's my answer. I could also use a minus b over a formula, but here it's kind of silly with just a 1s right there. Now it's kind of obvious if you think about it on a number line. If you have an 80 over here and you have a 72 over here, we would need to score the same distance in the other direction in order for my average to be 80. So how far would I have to go over? Well, I'd need an 88. So this makes perfect sense. So that's just another word problem that turns out to be a linear equation.